We're discussing mentorship. I'm speaking to Princess Setre, who is the founder and executive director of the Princess Setre Mission. And then she's also with Mr. Kote Korte. He's a retired educationist as well as an ex-examiner, BCE. And we're discussing knowledge plus values. I like a KPV mentoring seminar. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. I must tell you though, I don't know why I keep speaking to my schoolmates from St. Rose's. Princess was in school with me, as in St. Rosa. She was my junior, and so I'm happy you're doing this.
You were dining hall.
And I was their chief dining. Dining hall.
Yeah,
Perfect.
sorry.
Yes. Because I had lower people subjects.
Yeah, you did.
All right, so you're welcome, the two of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you just remind me of something that happened when I was writing my SSE. So
Okay.
I should start with that on the note, because you're mentoring students on examination malpractices, how to conduct yourself in an examination, etc. When I was writing my SSE in French, I was very bad in French.
Right.
In fact, we had one tutor who took us in French and literature, Mr. Bricran.
Yeah.
So in the literature class, I was always second from top. But in the French class, I was second from bottom. And I needed to pass my French exam. So I memorized a few things in French, because in section C or so, you have to write a letter to someone in a French-speaking country. I could tell from the wedding what the letter was about, but I remember I memorized in the name of the Father. It was a Catholic school, so au nom du Père et du Fils et du Saint-Esprit. I mean, I did all these things just so that my letter would be verbose, would be lengthy, and then I could earn some marks. Would you advise students who are taking, for instance, French in BCE, where they have to write a letter, something? Would you advise them to memorize certain things just so that they can give their essay some flesh? Let me start off on that.
Oh no, my sister, let me tell you, that is.
But it worked. I had a C. It wasn't bad. It worked for me.
But maybe what you wrote had some good information, right? But then it is not the best thing to do. What you should always do is actually learn, and then when you get in, you just write to the topic, and then they don't memorize things and then go in and then pour, and then eventually not even have information related to the question.
To the question.
These days, it is so common. And it is a big problem that we have, simply because people who want to look at these past questions and answers, and then they want to commit into memory things that they have seen in there. So when they get into the exams, as soon as they find a question which comes somewhere close to it, then they start pouring out. So you read the answers and you realize the answers are not related to the question.
Yes. But Mr. Kote, is it the onus, I suppose, is also on you, especially those who set the questions, because you do realize that sometimes you can actually track there's a trend. There are questions that are repeated, and which is perhaps why students do what they do by, memorizing answers to some of these questions, because there are questions that recur, just keep recurring.
Even though questions will recur, there is always what we call action verb or operational verb in the question. And even though the questions look similar, this operational verbs will keep changing from year to year. So the question will look quite okay, just like previous years. But
there just might be...
Yes, something you need to do. So, for instance, they ask you a question today about what is density. The next time they are saying that describe density. Because people see density, they think it is the same thing as the previous thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so Princess, why are you doing this? Your foundation, Princess Setre Mission, why have you taken up mentorship? What's the logic behind this?
So basically, PSM, that's Princess Setre Mission, what we do is we nurture young people, especially young women and children, into responsible and successful adults and change agents in our communities and societies. So one of the areas by which we do this is to bring together students, that's young adults, and then successful, influential people in our communities, our societies, to talk about issues. So we talk about sexual reproductive health, and we talk about career and guidance. We talk also about and train them in skills development. So actually the KPV seminar, mentoring seminar, is one of those activities that we do that engages the young people. And this time we are having the KPV on the 3rd of June, and this one is to basically teach the J.H.S. 3 students what they are supposed to avoid during exams. They will be writing their BSAs in 2 weeks' time. So Mr. Kote will be on board to give them some guidelines on things to avoid, things to do and not to do. And also we'll have some other speakers that will talk to them about how to manage their time after school. Because
they get very idle.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's where other social advisors come in, because after all, I'm not going to school from 8 to, let's say, 4:30 or 3:30. So now I'm free. Mommy is going to work. Dad is going to work. I'm all alone. What do you do with that time?
Right.
Basically?
So, well, and then I will come to Mr. Kuta here. So what are some of the pointers you're giving to these students before they get into the examination hall?
Yeah, you know, before they go into the examination room, they have to get themselves prepared for the exams. And there are a number of things they need to do. One of them is to make sure that they get to the examination center on time, so that they are not panting, so that their thought processes are all relaxed, so that they'll be able to sit down in a relaxed mood to write the exam. Whilst in the exams room, you know, some of us say that once you get into the examination room, everyone there for himself or herself, and God for all of us in there.
Each one for himself.
Yes. So we ask them not to go in there wanting assistance or help from either invigilators or from fellow students.
Yes.
Now, again, when they are writing the exams, you know, a number of them really are not organized. And then some of them spend so much time on particular questions they think the teachers have taken them through during class hours, and so they concentrate on all of them. Now, and so they are not able to complete the examination. Some of them also, you know, make certain mistakes and weaknesses, and that is why a number of them are not making good grades. Now, the reason is that, you know, the examination itself is said that when students write, people are going to mark, and they look for specific things. Some of them do not number their answers well. For instance, if somebody is answering question 4, the person may even write question 1. Because it is the first.
And that makes it entirely wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah. So you take your time in answering the questions. Thank you. So when is this? When is the session?
It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd of June at the Grace Chapel Church Chapel.
But do you involve the schools?
Exactly.
Because they're very much a pertinent part. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's even during school time, that's the lunch period.
Yeah.
So we engage them. They all come in their school uniforms. We involve them. We have a nice session with them, and then they go back.
Thank you so much. Princess Setra, Founder, Executive Director, Princess Setra Mission, and Mr. Kote. So it's the Knowledge Plus Values Mentoring Seminar tomorrow, 3rd June. Where again?
At the Grace Chapel.
At the Grace Chapel.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You're watching New Day.